Hi, everyone, and welcome to Inside AWAI. My name is Rebecca Matter, and today we are going to talk about how to profit from your passions through writing. I'm joined by Katie Yeakle, one of our founders. Hi, Katie.
Hi, Rebecca. Hi, Pam. Hi, everybody.
And I'm also joined by Pam Foster, our Director of Training here at AWAI. Hi, Pam.
Hi. Hi, everybody. Welcome.
And we are excited to talk about this topic. Normally, we talk more about writing as a career, so the different paths that you can take to basically create a new career, whether that's through copywriting or web writing or business to business or all the things that we talk about. But we hear this phrase a lot about profiting from your passions. If you follow your passions, the profits will come. So we want to dig into this a little bit today, and so we will give you some insights into what that really means and how to make that possible. And then we'll go over 8 different ways that writers are doing it and that you can do it too. So we'll share 8 different ways that you can profit from your passion once we get on the same page of what that really means. And then we'll close up with evaluating different passion opportunities. How can you tell if this opportunity that you're thinking about will actually be profitable for you? And then we'll close out with getting started and open it up for any questions that you might have. So with this saying, this idea of follow your passions, right? And the money will come. That sounds fantastic. And yes, we should all be excited about that. But it's kind of it feels a little bit too good to be true, for one. But I will say, I do believe that being passionate about what you're doing does make it more fun and more enjoyable. So if we can be passionate about what we're writing about or what we are doing in our day-to-day life, I'm 100% on board with life just being more fun. I also believe that you're better at it. I show up to AWAI. I love what I do. So does Pam. So does Kate. You can tell. You can hear it in our voice. You can see it in our writing. We are good at what we do because we genuinely are passionate about helping you make great money through writing. So every single day we show up, we're here. We're in it, and we love it, and it's fun, and it's enjoyable. And I believe that we're better at our jobs because we are so passionate. But just being passionate about something doesn't actually mean there's any money to be had there, right? I can't just say I'm interested in wine. I'm passionate about wine and get to work and start writing, right? I actually need a plan on how I'm going to make money from that passion. And it can be anything. It could be martial arts. It could be the fact that I'm a mom. That could be a passion of mine. My kids could be a passion. There's lots of different ways to approach this. But just having a passion and moving forward doesn't really mean money's just going to follow. People aren't just going to show up at my door and hand me cash. They're not just going to send checks to my house. I have to have a business plan. There has to be a way that I'm going to make money around that passion. And so that's what this session is really about today. We're going to look at, assuming you have a passion, any passion really, and again, there could be many ways that you approach passion. When I say passion, it doesn't have to be this like end-all, be-all thing that makes your heart sing, that, you know, just is so exciting to you. You can think about passions a lot of different ways. You can think about passions as something that you genuinely are interested in. So I like to knit, or I enjoy gardening, or whatever that might be. A passion could be something that you feel strongly about. You know, maybe you're caring for aging parents. Maybe you're raising kids. Maybe you have a child with special needs. Maybe you've been through something really earth-shattering or traumatic or super positive, something that was so life-changing for you that you want to share it with other people who are going to be following the same path as you. That could be a passion. It could just be something that you're familiar with because you worked in an industry for so long, or you've read about it for so long, or you were a teacher and you're done being a teacher, but man, you really did enjoy shaping children's lives. So is there a way for you to make money still shaping children's lives, but removing the day-to-day teaching aspect of it? So passion, that word, can mean so many different things. So I don't want anyone, right now to say, I don't really have a passion. You have something. There's something that excites you. And the way I think about it is, if I were to have to read or write about this thing every single day, would that make me happy? Would I have fun doing that? Would that be enjoyable? Would I feel fulfilled? Would I feel like I'm doing something great? And if so, that's good enough for me. The word passion is kind of a big, scary word in my opinion, but that's all we're looking for here. Something that we're interested in, something that every single day we want to get up, I want to go to work, and that sounds great. So if it's something like that, then you've already found a potential passion. And then our job with this session is to show you various ways that you can actually make money with that passion, make money around that passion, if you will. We're actually going to give you 8 different ways. The first 5 are much more, you have this passion, here is how you make money from that passion through various forms of writing, before we change it out to be, these are some examples of passions that you can actually do and make money with them. And that might sound a little bit vague, but it will all come together in the next few minutes. But just real quick, just, you know, people who always want to know about money, how much are we talking here? Really, you can make as much as any other writing path. If you choose the right passions and you choose the right ways to make money from your passions, it can be a little side income thing. You know, if you want to make an extra 20 grand a year, that can be plenty. You can definitely make that. We're going to show you some of those methods. You can totally replace your income. If you have a job, like again, like my teacher example, and you're tired of actually showing up to a classroom every day, but still want to continue to change children's lives, that's possible. So we'll look at some opportunities that have more money-making potential. It can be your own business. It can be working for other people. There's really not a one size is the only way about this. So you're going to see now that there are tons of different opportunities. And with that, let's go ahead and jump on in. So Pam, I'm going to come over to you first.
All right.
Let me change you to presenter. And let's talk about 8 ways writers are making great money related to their passion.
Okie dokie. So the first one that, boy, has really taken off among our AWAI membership is making a money-making website, creating your own website that is informational about something that you're very interested in. And of course, if you are a fan of something, then thousands and thousands of other people are. And what's cool about this is you drive all the content. So let's say you, well, I'm going to show you an example in a minute, but the premise is you're going to create an informational website with pages and pages of content that is all focused on a very specific interest or field. And what you're delivering is helpful information, a how-to guide or reviews of products in that area, or other types of, you know, maybe interviews with people who are in that field or who make the product that is in that industry. So it's something that you are writing about and creating that is all your own, and you can make money as an affiliate or an advertiser, or you can even sell your own stuff. And it's easy to tell you about this by showing you an example. So Nick Osborne, who you've probably heard of through us, he's the one who writes all of our a money-making website program and our web content programs. He writes many of those, but he also has a few different things he does on the side, and one of them is his money-making website based on his passion for coffee. He's a coffee fanatic. He has to have like 5 cups of coffee in the morning before he can even speak to any of us. He's really, and his passion is he doesn't want to have to go out and buy it at a local coffee place if he feels like staying home. So he's really honed in on the passion of making this amazing coffee at home and finding the right kind of presses and the right coffee companies that make organic, amazing, different blends and all of this stuff. So he's been doing this for maybe 10 years now, I think, and he makes like $7,000 a month off of his website because all of these topics that he writes about draw people in when they're searching for information on different aspects of making great coffee at home. So every day or every week he puts together a post that just covers really basic questions people would have about making coffee at home. Or if a company comes out with a new line of French roast press or things like that, espresso machines, he'll review them. And then he puts a link to the product and they give him an affiliate payment every time somebody clicks from his website to theirs. So it's been an incredible thing for him, and he says, you know, it's like his retirement plan. He makes all kinds of money every month without having to do a whole lot of work. I mean, it does take work at first to set all this up, but then it's almost like it's a labor of love, first of all. And every day or every week you're going, all right, here's something new to talk about that people are asking about online or on forums or on Facebook. So I'm going to take that topic and be the go-to resource for that. And that's what he's done, and you can do that too with a passion that you have. Now, similar to that is blogging. Blogging is where you're also providing your unique perspective and your insights and helpful information, and look inside the world of people who are doing this in in this industry. But a blog is different in the way that it's really your personality that is the front-facing part of the website, and you're offering chronological information. So when you're blogging every day, every week, where the money-making website is more evergreen pages. And what I mean by that, they're regular web pages that are not time-sensitive or timely. They're not even time-marked. They're not dated. Blogging is more chronological, and something just happened I need to tell you about, or I just got back from a conference that's all about my passion. Here's what I learned. And so it's very much an updating kind of platform, but it has the same premise. If you're building an audience, you are going to get the attention of advertisers and sponsors who will be more than happy to pay you for access to that traffic that you've been getting. And so there are lots of ways to make money off the traffic that you begin to attract with your blog. So here's an example, and Rebecca or Katie, if you want to chime in on this one, because you know Hannah more than I do, but Holly Hannah, she used to work for AWAI, and her passion, though, was being at home with her kids, and so she wanted to create this place for all women who wanted to be working at home, a go-to place for all kinds of ideas on how to make money working from home. And it's not just writing, but you could be making Etsy items or, oh gosh, all kinds of things. Being a proofreader, being, I can't even remember all the different things, but she's got, and then on the right, you'll see
VA and all kinds of, like you said, all kinds of different things that you can do from home, from like transcribing to data entry, virtual assistants. And you had just asked about her backstory. So she was actually a nurse, and she got pregnant with her daughter, and about 6 weeks into maternity leave, she realized she's probably not going to go back after the 12 weeks were up, and so she started scrambling to try and find a work-at-home opportunity, realized that there weren't many great things out there. There wasn't a great resource for people like her, and she had been working with us on research. She had been through Nick's Money Making Website program and some of our copywriting programs, and decided to start building this website. It has become a huge thing. She never had to go back to nursing, which she's happy to report, and it's become a life-changing opportunity for her. And really, she is now the work-at-home woman. To me, the difference between a blog and a money-making website, which I know people will ask, a money-making website, like Pam was talking about, is information and content on a certain topic, whereas a blog, oftentimes, it's similar in nature, but it really is around you. It's your voice. You're putting yourself up there. The work-at-home woman is Holly, and so she's constantly at the front of this blog telling everybody the latest and greatest ways to make money from home.
Right, and that's a good example. John Morrow, if you're not familiar with him, and it's M-O-R-R-O-W, he owns a website that, oh my gosh, I just had a brain melt. I can't remember the name of his website, but he does blogging, and it's him and his personality, and it's all him every day. And he makes so much money from his blogs because what he talks about is of interest to a wide audience about making money blogging, by the way. And so
he makes $100,000 a month, and his website is smartblogger.com.
Thank you. Thank you for that. I could see it, but I couldn't think of it. I can see it in my mind.
All good.
So that's the difference, really, because a website, a money-making website, looks more like a business type of website, where these are more truly passionate blogging individuals that you get to meet through that, and that could be you. Another way is to create your own email list and then email to them, grow an audience, and upsell them on different things that you want to offer. And again, Rebecca, you're real close, or Katie, to Ben Settle, who's kind of the king of this. But I'll give an overview, and I'll show you an example, and then, you know, if you guys have some other input, that would be great.
Sure.
But the idea is that there is something, obviously, that we all have that's a super interest. So I'm interested in pets. I'm interested in flipping houses. I'm interested in antiques. I have grandkids, you know, so these are things that I'm not the only human being on earth who's interested in this. So if you can find a following, and I think Ben does it through Facebook ads and other ways to build his email list, you can then start emailing them. No client needed. It's just you and your audience, and you're sending emails daily or every other day or every week that engages with them. It's very relationship oriented. It's very personal. It's not like an email you'll get from Amazon that just says, here are our specials for the week. It's very much a conversation. And in that conversation, you're generating a fan base. And that fan base will do anything you ask if they love you. You know, at some point when you have something to offer them, to sell them, they're like, yeah, I've been loving what this guy's been writing about. Like Tim Ferriss, for example, if you've heard of him, he's the author of the 4-Hour Workday. He has a 5-bullet Friday email. And so he sends out every Friday 5 bullets about things that he personally is using, trying, reading, listening to. And so I check it out, and sometimes there's something that sparks an interest in me, and guess what? If I click on that, he gets money from that. So, and quite often, because I'm a big fan of what he's trying to do, is interview everybody who's successful and then teach all of us how to emulate those attributes and everything. I really like that. So I'm a fan, and I watch his emails every Friday, and that's the kind of thing you can build. And then if Tim's going to sell his latest book, he will tell his fans through email, hey, my latest book just came out. Boom, he sells a bunch of books. So that's really what that whole platform is about. And here's just an example of a type of email that I mean. If you know something like how to put a deck in your backyard without a foundation, I'm making that up, but if you know something that other people want to know, you can write an email that tells them that you were struggling with that same problem, but you found a solution, and here it is, bada boom, bada bing, and the people reading the email will be like, oh man, I need that, and then they'll click on your email and go to wherever the person is leading, you know? So that's pretty much what that looks like. I don't know if you guys want to add anything about that.
This is so funny. I love this because I'm in this world with you all the time, and Katie might probably feel the same way. A lot of times in stepping back and listening to what we're talking about as a participant or one of our members, it's so interesting because the question that came to my head right now is, all right, money-making website, blog, email, couldn't I just do all of them because they're all very similar? And the answer would be yes. That is an option.
And when they support each other and make each stronger.
So I just kind of wanted to give just a quick, if we could pause for a second, just to kind of like give a quick differential for each one. So the money-making website, the way I like to think of that one is you're creating an asset. It's like a knowledge base about a specific topic. So every piece of copy that you add to it, it's one more entry point into this website that is building up the asset itself. The asset is maintained for as long as you want it to be. It can be sold because it's not about you. It's about the topic. So it's about coffee, right? It's all right there. It's all self-encompassing. It brings in traffic. It makes money like that. A blog is really more like an ongoing conversation online. So I am the coffee. If Nick Usborne wanted to come to the front, Nick Usborne would be the coffee detective. He'd be having an ongoing conversation with his audience about what is happening in his world, in the world that he's in, about his passion. So that blog is that constant back and forth, two-way conversation. You're putting content out there. People are responding back with comments. You're engaging with them. There's that conversation. Email is like one more step removed, and then it's a conversation, and you are building an audience, but you are basically pushing out to it on a regular basis. The key with email is the more you email, the more money you make. That's what's most appealing to people about the third opportunity. With money-making websites and blogs, you are relying on the ability to bring in traffic and grow that audience. And then from there, it's really about affiliates and ads and things like that, which are taught more if you really dig into one of those things. With email, once you create that asset, that list, you can email it anytime you want. If you need to go on a vacation, you can email it again to make more money to then, like you're in more control of that money flow. So you could do them all together. Like Katie said, they all do benefit one another. Having a money-making website with really great, rich content will bring people in. You can easily add a blog to it where you decide to have an ongoing conversation with that audience, You could easily then go to collect their email addresses, which would then give you the email list, which would then give you the ability to email them at any time you want to sell them something. So you really could, at this point, like you would have a nice little empire around your passion. Sorry to hijack, Pam, but I was just writing notes as you were talking.
Just one thing that I want to add, too, is, you know, it's all, like, I'm getting excited. I'm like, I want to do, I'm like, oh, wait, we have it already, AWAI. But I get the excitement that kind of happens, but then you're like, oh, wait, what do I actually do? What is this? And the thing I just want to point out is we have such great examples of people who have done all of these things in so many different areas. So even if you don't quite know yet, once you see the game plan, once you see how others have done it, then that's when something's going to click, and that's when it'll make sense for you. So don't feel like you have to recreate anything from scratch. We have so many models available for you to follow that, you know, take away that first big obstacle of, you know, kind of, oh, what is it that I'm actually going to do?
Well, and what's interesting is when the money-making websites, because we do have a program on that, we have a lot of members who then go ahead and establish their passion website. And I was looking at them the other day, and we have, for example, allaboutsushiguide.com. Another one is calmmindbody.com. babyboomersbloom.com. So Chiro Marketing Guide, chiropractic, City Farming Girl. So it's interesting. Whatever the passion is, there's an audience and an interest and a possibility here. So speaking of all these things that go together, I was going to say, but wait, there's more. So because ebooks is another great way to create content that you put together that might be a helpful guide on something you know about. And again, this could be sold on a website, on a blog, through email, but it's an asset that you create that is a discrete standalone guide, and it could be 40 pages or more, but basically it's going to be a helpful guide on something you know about and you can teach other people. Like evergreen topics, for example, how to train a new puppy to use a crate. Ta-da, there's a topic that every single new puppy owner will be interested in until the end of time. And, you know, how to stop a baby from crying, or how to make your own organic baby food, or, gosh, I could name a million things. But if you have something that you know from your own experience and interests and background, you could write how-to guides that solve a common problem for people who are just getting into that interest. Every day we're faced with something new we might have to deal with, and people are looking online to find solutions. I use YouTube a lot, which could be another version of the ebook model here, where you create videos, except those are usually free. But every day I'm looking how to put this darn thing together that I just bought in eight pieces, you know. And so if you have ebooks that people would value, how to save up for a down payment on your first home, all these kinds of things, you can sell the books on Amazon, on other online bookstore platforms, and on your own website or blog, as we said. And then after as you're selling these ebooks, you could also offer other things to sell. For example, let's say you're doing an ebook on how to sell products on Etsy. I'm making that up. But you could also perhaps sell kits. Like if it's someone who wants to make dolls and sell them on Etsy, you could sell doll kits. So the opportunities are endless here. And we have a lot of people who are interested in crafting and building things and working on cars or customizing cars. The topics are endless. But ebooks is another really popular way. I found this one online. The passion of this author is home improvement, and her book is Making Your Home More Energy Efficient, a practical guide to saving your money and our planet. So that's just one example of a gazillion. I mean, I know of a company that installs granite countertops. They put out an ebook on how to take care of your granite countertops. Brilliant, because then, of course, they're going to be the people you hire to put in the granite countertops because they wrote the book on how to keep good care of them. All right. Now, here's another one. I mean, I think that when we started out, we were like, okay, this profiting from your passion would be something you own and you create, and it's either your website or your blog. But guess what? Writing for clients and getting paid big bucks to do that can be a blast if you're writing for companies in an industry you love. And for every niche that you can think of, there are businesses that sell to consumers, businesses that sell supplies and other things to other companies in that niche. For example, I happen to have a background in the veterinary industry, and when you think about it, it's huge. We have veterinary practices who are trying to bring in more pet owners to their, into their clinic. And then we have all the equipment suppliers trying to sell to veterinary practices. And there are associations and events, and it's huge. So if you're writing for any of those clients and you love that field, it's a blast and it's very profitable. And you can do it freelance, as many of our members do. You can join their full-time staff as an in-house staff writer. And believe me, they are going to be so excited to have your background with a common interest and passion in that field. And bonus, if you are someone, let's just take gardening, for example. If you're an avid gardener and you want to write in the gardening industry, the companies in that industry are going to be thrilled to have you because you're the prospect. You're the one who's out there buying the soil and the supplies and the plants each year and all of that. So who better to talk to their audience than you? So here's just an example of a pet passion. Like I said, I've been in the veterinary industry for a long time. So this is Direct Animal Products, and I got to write their website. And it wasn't drudgery, oh gosh, I have to answer to a client. No, it was actually a blast because I love what they do, and they invent products that help pet professionals run their businesses better, save their backs when they're lifting heavy, squirmy, wet dogs, all that good stuff. So I believe in them, and I have fun writing for them. So it can be great to write for a client that you have a passion for in an industry you're passionate about. So now I'm going to pass the ball to Katie, who's going to keep going with some other ways to make money that you may not have thought about.
And just to add to that, not only an industry that you're passionate about, but a specific company that you're passionate about. What company do you buy from? What products or services do you tell all your friends, you've got to try this, this is the greatest? Let them know that you're one of their biggest fans. You know, participate in their forums or their Facebook pages. You know, it's a great way to get noticed, but write them a letter from your heart, letting them know how passionate you are about what they do, and again, you'll be looked at. You'll definitely get attention. You know, everybody that writes for AWAI has come up through AWAI, has been a member, has, you know, Pam is the perfect example of somebody who found us and has excelled and done well, and she has a passion for AWAI and our members, and, you know, now she has this great role. So you just don't know where it can go. So look in your own, you know, not even necessarily your backyard, but where you do business and where you spend your time. And that's just a great place to find passionate clients that you're passionate about. Okay, so what we've talked about so far are all about ways of making money from something that you're passionate about. Now we're going to talk about 3 ways to make money while you're actually doing it, while you're living it. And I'm going to start with asking, is your passion helping others? And if that's the case, where you would be excited, where you would love the opportunity to write to support causes that are close to your heart, there is something that's actually called cause marketing. It's over $1.7 billion in revenue, so there's a lot of money being exchanged, a lot of money being donated and funds raised, and that's all the result of people writing letters, writing ads, writing websites that inspire that behavior. Cause marketing is when companies either create their own charitable programs or team up with existing charities and put together opportunities for customers to support them, and then they in turn support the charity. So basically you're helping support their causes through writing, like I said, ads or emails or websites that get people to do business with them, because they understand that a benefit of them doing business with them will benefit the charity. It's, you know, it's, you want to just do business with companies that align with your values and that are doing good, and where you end up feeling good about the purchases that you're making. You know, one example is Tom's, the shoes brands. I don't know if you've seen those or not. They have the little logos on there. You see them on the heels. They have a program that's called One for One, and it's been going on since 2006, and it gives a pair of shoes to kids in need for every pair bought. So if you go into any store or any online to their website and you buy a pair of shoes, they will match that and give a pair of shoes. Since 2006, when they started, they've given away millions of shoes to impoverished kids in over 40 companies. So if this is something that you would love to help them with that mission, there are opportunities. They need copywriters. They need writers. And there's so many more. Amex, American Express, helped raise funds for the Statue of Liberty restoration. So it was when you used your Amex card, a portion of that purchase would go towards this fund. Dove's Real Beauty built a campaign, Dove Soap built a campaign called Real Beauty, which was about building self-esteem, and it put together all these programs where teachers were going into schools and teaching self-esteem strategies and giving that kind of motivation. Yeakle, they had a program, Save Lids to Save Lives, and for all the lids collected, Yeakle donated 10 cents to one of the big breast cancer foundations. So any product that you're passionate about, any charities or organizations or foundations that you're passionate about, there's a way of matching these, and there's a way of helping put these organizations together for this wonderful, exciting way of helping people that consumers typically feel, very good about. It can be local, it can be national, it can be international, all of these programs. So that's one way of really diving into your passion and profiting from it in a way from your writing, using your writing to help these campaigns be successful. Another passion that a lot of AWAI members have, a lot of people that come into our world, is traveling. A lot of the appeal of being a copywriter is the freedom that this lifestyle gives you. But some people want to just take it up a notch. And if you're somebody who loves traveling, it's something that you tell your friends about, or your friends and family come to you for advice. If you're that person in your world, it's a great way to cover your cost of your trips and then some by writing articles, by writing blog posts, by getting involved in the travel industry. Travel writers get to see places in a way most tourists never do, because they are building these connections and they're private tours or behind the scenes, because there are techniques you can do of how you reach out and how you plan things and how you set up these types of meetings and events with the understanding and the anticipation that you'd be writing articles about them. There are so many ways that you can implement this, and the digital age has just opened up so many new markets between, blogs and websites, social media, email. Anything in that travel world is just hungry for more information. It's every season they need something new, every event, they just can't repeat the same materials. So it's really a industry that has an insatiable appetite, and there's always interesting ways to put your spin on things that haven't been done before. So if traveling is a passion of yours, your writing, being able to write for the travel industry, for travel publications, is a great way to fund that passion. And, how great is that? Great Escape Publishing, which is part of AWAI, has a program that trains writers specifically how to write to create this kind of lifestyle. You get paid and you enjoy the amazing perks. The resource is the Ultimate Travel Writers Program, and here's a link, and it includes everything, really everything you need to get started. You learn where to find the publications that make sense for your story, what to put in the letter to the editor. It's all about not only how you write the letters, but then how you get them published, how you get started, how to even find subjects and subject matter right in your own backyard. It's just a fun, easy entry, great way to fund a passion. So we want to just be sure everybody knows about that and shine that light on it so that it opens it up in a way that you might not have thought about it before.
Can you go? Hang on. Can you go back to that slide just for 1 second, Katie?
Yes.
You can't click on this link right now, but I just wanted to mention that when we have the replay of this video and the slides, you can click on the slides, and that's where the link
thanks,
goes.
Pam. Did I say, yeah, thank you. All right. Well, and when we talk about travel writing, we often talk about photography in the same breath, but there's so many, if photography is a passion of yours, that's another great vehicle for earning money as you're doing it, and to have the money that you earn from this further your passion and actually fund your passion. There's great opportunities within stock photo sites, as well as creating photographs to go for blog content and different articles, not just travel articles, all kinds of articles. If you have an eye and a passion for photography, there are organizations, there are publications, there are companies that need photographs to help them tell their story. So this is a way of looking at your photos in a new light, of taking this passion and turning it into a business. And again, this is something that that we can help you with. We have a great program that teaches you how to do it. It's called Turn Your Pictures into Cash, and I'll get to that in just a minute. But in addition to that, if photography is your passion, it's also useful to have that in mind as you create your own content. If you're doing one of the websites, or you're doing the e-letter or the e-book, photos just help tell the story. So, add that to things that the pieces that you're writing, and just know that there is a market for these photographers, and it helps enrich whatever writing that you are doing. So just to mention, here's the link to the photo program, Turn Your Pictures into Cash, and this too will be live when you get the replay. But it not only focuses on how to take the best pictures and the lighting and, you know, all the technical aspects. It gets into like what equipment you need, what you don't need. So much is done with iPhones. It's really remarkable, and they show you how to maximize that. And then it also shows you how to reach out to editors, how to have those conversations. Just like all of our programs, we focus on a skill, but then we also show you then how to turn that skill into a business. So those are 8 ways of turning your passion into profit. And we have more and we will share those with you through the Barefoot Writer, through the Writer's Life, and as you get to know and you mix with the AWAI members on the Facebook page and at our different events, you know, that's one of the exciting and really fun parts about this community is learning about all these amazing passions that your fellow AWAI members have and how they are living them, using them to help create the writer's life of their dreams. But first thing is to get started. You want to ask, you know, is it viable? So you want to do the basic research to make sure that this is a growing market. This is a market with a fan base, with a group that has an appetite, that money is being exchanged, that there's commerce happening, that there are opportunities for you. Because if you're going to, you know, put the time into this, you want to be sure that there's room for you to grow and to be as busy as you want to be. You know, one idea is, are there trade associations? Are there, you know, how active are the websites? How many journals are there? How many businesses are there actually, or people within this world? And then, you know, make the call and start testing the water and seeing if there's a way to get some traction. What I hope you leave today with is the understanding, the excitement that if you're passionate about a certain interest, you're not alone. There are thousands, it could be even millions of other people too. You need to just find them and connect with them and then let it all happen organically. But put yourself in the mix, in the conversation, see what you have to offer. When you take this approach, like Pam was saying, it really does become a labor of love. It becomes something that you're excited about every morning to get up and start doing. You find yourself thinking about it when you're, you know, making dinner or taking a walk, and you want to know more. You have such a curiosity about it that just feeds this interest, and it's this wonderful circle that happens. And once you do hit on that and you're in that stride, just know that writing about your passion can be quite lucrative, and you can take it just really as far as you want to go. I think the important thing is that you spend a little time and actually explore this and see where any of these paths can take you, and then learn the skills that you need, because having the passion and the path are key. That's definitely what you need to get started. But then you want to make it easy on yourself. You don't want to have to reinvent the wheel. You don't want to have to make mistakes that you don't need to be. There are certain skill sets that are involved with all of these that are very learnable. We've been teaching them for 20 years now, but you just want to do yourself the service of doing it the right way. Okay, a few resources that I highly recommend, we all recommend, things that we've talked about. This is a free training, and it was one of the Inside AWAIs we did a few months back, and it's creating a successful roadmap. And it takes you from where you are to really making money in, you know, these easy steps that you can just chunk out, do one at a time, get it done, and move on to the next. It's very clear, and there's a ton of support, and like I said, 20 years of experience that has gone into this. We also have programs on how to write your own money-making website, the 10-minute workday, which is Ben Settle's tome, his playbook, his exactly blueprint of how you not only write fun, engaging emails, but then how you actually turn it into a business. We have a great resource from Bob Y, who's written over 80 books at this point, on how to write ebooks. And again, not just how to write them, how to get them making you money, how to get them in front of the people you need to. Cause marketing, which I had spoken about. We have a great program that goes into much more detail and shows you the opportunities for copywriters and the need for so many organizations on both the corporate side and the charitable side that are looking for copywriters to help make that bridge and to help explain to their customers, their followers, about these opportunities that they feel so strongly about. These will all be posted and available to you, and I think that is it for the presentation part, but we're happy to answer any questions you have. So
I just wanted to point out something that was in the Q&A. People were asking, like, how do I learn more about specific paths? You know, do we go to the catalog? And yes, all the training programs, if there's a way of making great money as a writer, you can bet your bottom dollar that AWAI, after 21 years, has a program on it. But I do also encourage you two things. One, when you go to the catalog, use the promos as resource tools, or resources or research tools. Most of our promos, 80% of them are going to be research-driven. So it's going to be about the opportunity, how you get paid, who's successful in this, who the top industry experts are, all that information. It will all be in there. So you can really learn a lot just by reading our promotions. And then, of course, these are our content toolbar, the toolbar at the top of the AWAI website. If you type in anything, like I just typed in cause just to see what would show up, there's not only is the program for cause marketing in the results, but tons of great content that we've published recently and over the years. So use our website to explore. This was really like a sampler, if you will, of 8 different ways that you can make money following your passions, but you'll definitely want to dig in and into the ones that feel most exciting to you and just learn about them on our website. The reason we included that roadmap webinar, I just want to touch on that really quick too. Once you've decided on a path, you go to a session like this and it can be really exciting, like, okay, I'm going to do money-making websites, blogs, and emails. Let's get started. How do I start? Like, what's step one? Doing all those things at one time could seem overwhelming. You could get paralyzed simply by having so many options or so much to do. That roadmap webinar, if you've never been through it before, I highly recommend. What it does is it helps you create a map of a journey. You know, you are here right now, you want to be there, defining where there is, and then figuring out exactly what you need to do, what the steps are to get you from here to there. What that does for you is it basically gives you a checklist, if you will, that you can then follow. And that way, when other opportunities present themselves, they're bright, shiny objects, you can acknowledge the fact that, hey, that takes me off my path. I have my plan, it's all written out, and that thing that I'm being drawn to right now is a distraction. I want to keep forward, I know what my marching orders are, and I want to keep moving forward so that I do make sure that I get to where I want to go. So if you haven't watched that webinar that was on the previous slide, it's called Creating Your Roadmap. It's on the Inside AWAI landing page.
Oh, yeah.
I recommend that everybody check that out.
And really check out all of the, I mean, you would need a couple days of your life, but, and it could be like Netflix where you start binge watching, but we have, I think it's over 50 at least of these webinars.
36.
36, okay.
It's been 3 years.
on topics like this where we really just focus in on one topic that we know new members, even old members, they just want more information about, and we do these deep dives. So I would just look over the list and, you know, maybe watch one a day or whatever your top questions are, but we really focus in on getting started, finding clients, finding niches, you know, a lot of those questions that can be stumbling blocks at the beginning, and they're all for you.
Sorry, I'm typing an answer if you guys can keep going.
Okay. Let's see. I think we're happy to take questions. So if anybody has any more questions.
May we have affiliates on our money-making website that are competitors, for example, Orkin Pest Control and Terminix? Absolutely. When you have a website, it's your property. So you are allowed to advertise whomever and whatever you would like, because it's your sandbox, so you can do whatever you want. Typically what you'll end up doing, though, is you'll find that some of your products, let's say, that you're promoting do better than others, and so they will get better placements for you. I know, for example, Holly, the example we were showing you for the work-at-home woman, she might have multiple direct sale companies for, let's say, skincare lines that are interested in reaching women who are looking to work from home. Originally, when she started out, she might have ads on there where she's just basically getting paid if people click on her ads. Now that she knows what works, she's actually approached those companies and said, hey, company A, you're actually more effective than B and C. If you'll pay me more, I'll go ahead and feature you front and center. It's in our best interest for me to promote you more because we both do better. So while you can promote anything that you want, because again, you're a sandbox and all of the competitors are going to want to be in it, which is great for you. Because if you have company A and B, C, D, E, F, G, all you've got to do is go to them and say, hey, I've got A and B advertising on my site. Are you interested as well? Well, yes. If I'm looking to compete in that industry, I definitely want to be on your website. And again, that's a little bit of a higher level conversation as you get into creating that asset of a money-making website. But short answer is yes, you can have any number of companies that are all competing represented on your website. And then the longer answer is it's actually great for you, and it will allow you to get an even bigger reach and to get more advertisers, and it's fun.
Rebecca, I don't know the answer to this. I'm wondering if you do. Nina is asking, any advice on becoming an Amazon affiliate? I don't know if that links in.
You just sign up. It's somebody can go grab, maybe Helen or somebody can go grab the URL for how to become an Amazon affiliate. But you can actually promote any product on your site. What's cool about the affiliate program for Amazon is that you can literally go just grab the product. You can embed the image on your website. You can embed their text, and you just have a tracking link. If anybody buys through your link, whether it's that product or sometimes any product within a certain amount of time, you will get credited back, and they will just cut you a check once a month. So it's actually one of the easiest affiliate systems to join because there's just so many different products that you can sell. Now, I will say, too, it is the least, they pay the least percentage of other affiliate programs that you might join. But again, it's so easy to join, and there are so many products to choose from, it can make it easy just to get up and running.
Oh, more affiliate questions. Alex is asking, how does one get the affiliate relationship with the company that one links to on the website? Is that information? Okay.
Do you want me to answer that one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure. So you'll contact them. So let's say I have a infant safety website, right? And I want to sell infant safety products on my website. I could go the easy route, just go to Amazon, grab their links, and I'm going to get a smaller percentage. But if I had a website of 50 or 100 pages, or I had any kind of audience, like I've spent time developing my asset, I personally would go to the companies that I want to sell and talk to them directly. and say, I'd like to do a review of your, or I'd like to sell your product, what kind of affiliate arrangement can I have? That would be one thing. Another thing is once I wrote a review or I wrote a sales page for it, I would then go back to the company and say, hey, I now have your infant monitoring program up on the product up on my website. I'd love for you to come and see the sales page to see if there's anything you'd like me to change or if there's any recommendations that you have. Because again, it's just an opportunity. Who doesn't want to see somebody promoting their stuff? They're not paying at that time, so they just want to see what you're doing. And for those of you who are also doing freelance writing and you also happen to be in that niche, you could then say, hey, while I have you, I'm selling your product on my site, I can actually write the sales copy for your website as well. I happen to also be a copywriter. So it's a nice way.
And just one more thing. A lot of times, companies with these types of products to sell will have a link right on their website, interested in being an affiliate or for affiliate information, click here, and they could have a automatic affiliate program. So I would just poke around a little bit, and if you don't find anything, then definitely reach out to them.
I wanted to throw in something too. So depending on the industry you're interested in, you might find a community of bloggers who share tips and ideas and even leads on companies that are looking for writers and blogs. So for example, in the pet industry, there's something called Blog Pause, P-A-W-S, Blog Pause, and it's a community of like 600 pet bloggers, and that association reaches out and develops relationships with pet product companies who are looking for audiences. And they go, hey, we've got an opportunity to promote a new line of eco-friendly dog beds. I'm making that up. But, and then, submit your application or your application to them, and they may want to advertise with you. So there are associations around a lot of niche interests. You just have to do a little digging online in Google, but if you're in the pet industry, Blog Pause is the place to go.
Guys, I'm having trouble with the navigating in the Q&A, so I'm getting the spinning wheel.
Yeah, funny. Sandra said, I think copywriting is more lucrative than writing a book, though. Heck yeah. In general, you're going to have a handful, maybe a dozen or so writers every year who are going to make a ton of money. You'll have your next layer, you might have another 100 or so who are making very good money, and then after that, maybe another 100 who are making decent money, and then from there it just falls apart. In the copywriting world, we can have, there are millions of companies, millions, and you only need 3 to 4. So it's very reasonable for you to make a 6-figure income working for 3 to 4 clients, never having to have ever had a best-selling book, it's just very hard. It's a very small part of the publishing world. Same thing with screenwriting. At any given time, there are 100,000 people writing screenplays, and maybe 1,000 of them will get picked that year. They'll make any money on it. And of those, most will get put on the shelf. The ones that actually make it to the screen is such a small number. So while I love all that, I think people should still pursue those things. Do it for your passion. If you're looking to actually make money as a writer and you want control over your financial future that you make from your writing, this is definitely, that's what AWAI is really about. Somebody was asking if you've written books in sci-fi and horror and things like that, do we have any programs on how to monetize that? In general, no. We could help you build an author platform, attracting people of interest in that genre. But in general, that's not where the money is going to be. The money is going to always be where there is commerce, where people are selling things from a company to a person, which is considered business to consumer, or from a business to another business, which is called B2B. But wherever that money, Katie mentioned this, wherever the money is exchanging hands, wherever people are buying and selling, that's where you want to be as a writer, whether you're working for clients to help them sell their products and services, or you are writing about things like a money-making website or a blog, and through that you are attracting companies who want to reach your audience. They want to sell their products and services to the audience that you created. That is where the money is in writing for the most people.
Oh, Leslie, nice to meet you at boot camp too. I can see your message. She was just thanking us, and we thank you. And thanks to everybody. These are great questions.
I wanted to comment on something I saw about copywriting is quicker money than publishing a book. You can do you know, depending on your life and your schedule and your commitment and your time, you can do multiple things. For example, I was working full-time and also studying AWAI programs. Or when I went to, even now, I work full-time for AWAI, but I still work with a few clients to do blogging and other things because I want to stay in the game and be authentic to you when I say, here's what people need now and here's what's working now. So you could be writing a book on the side while you're also writing for clients, and then you decide at one point, you know, maybe I shift over to one or the other. But the thing about this is the opportunities are infinite, and there's something for everyone, and you can make it what you want. So that's what I throw out there.
The other cool thing too about writing books is that, like, most of our people who've come to us who are fiction writers, like I think of Pam McCord, is one. She's a award-winning fiction writer, and she does copywriting on the side. And the reason she was drawn to copywriting is that book publishing is, you know, it ebbs and flows as far as her finances go and even her time goes. When she's working on a book, she's very busy on her book, but in between the two books, there's this space. And so she uses copywriting to fill in that space so that she has continued revenue coming in so that she can work on the books when she feels like it. Other people have told us that are similar to Pam McCord, the reason they also layer in copywriting in with their fiction writing is that it makes the, you know, their fiction then just, they can just write. They can write when they want to write. They can turn out the books if they want to write. When they're feeling inspired, they don't have to go sit at their desk for 8 hours. When they were feeling inspired today, if they had only had those 8 hours, they could have taken that character or that plot further down than waiting until tonight after they got home. So copywriting allows them to ebb and flow with their own inspiration as well when writing fiction.
But to be, you know, full disclosure, when we talk in quick, you have to put in some time. You have to put in some work. None of this is overnight or, you know, quick. None of these are you just push a button. It's up to you to make the commitment and do the work. But the thing that is quick is once it starts, the momentum that you see. I think that's what's so fascinating. And, you know, Rebecca, we've never really done like a study of that. But, you know, from, you know, it might take somebody 6 months or 12 months to get that first client. But then what happens in the following 12 months is so exponential that, you know, that's kind of a fun thing to keep in mind, too.
I agree. And this is definitely not a get-rich-quick kind of thing. This is the reason why the potential and the opportunity is so big is because it's real. You can make it as big or as small as you want it. Like we talked a little bit at the beginning, Pam was talking about just doing this on the side. You could just make $500 a month. For a lot of people, an extra $500, extra $1,000 a month, that's a big deal. I mean, that takes care of my kids' daycare. Like there are things like, okay, I just wipe that one thing off. If I made an extra $500 a month, that gets us to Disney World, you know, over spring break. There are things like it doesn't have to be an all-in kind of thing. So you can get started on the side. You could supplement your income. You could decide to choose careers. It's such a flexible opportunity, but it's not like, you know, what Katie was saying, it's not a get-rich-quick kind of thing. You do have to put in the time and be willing to work for whatever level you want. Obviously, if you want 6 figures and you want to replace a career, that's a lot more of time and commitment than just, I'm going to make $500 a month for my blog, which again is totally fine, but the time commitment is obviously going to be a little bit different. And Katie, to your point about momentum, I mean, that is time and time again when we read through the success stories, and even in the Q&As, and I see, you know, I'm so glad I found AWAI, why hadn't I found it sooner? So many of our stories will say, I found AWAI 3 years ago, and it wasn't until I finally, and then all of a sudden something happened.
Yeah.
They decided to finally dig in. They decided to pick their niche. They decided to take a piece of advice. They decided to sell the spec or whatever the thing was, that catalyst that tipped the scale. And then that next year, it's like I just wrote an article about our success panel at boot camp this year where we had the 6 different panelists. For those of you who have never been to boot camp, it's our annual conference where we have 450 copywriters come together, marketers looking to hire copywriters, the biggest industry experts teaching these copywriters. It's such an amazing event. But on the final day, we bring up 6 panelists, 6 working writers to share their insights and the success that they had. And without fail, all of them, within the year, have all of these stories that have happened just that year because of what Katie was saying. Once that momentum starts, it just builds and gets faster and faster and faster, and the opportunities come faster and faster and faster. You just got to put in that initial time to get to where it catches, like where the rubber actually connects with the road.
I saw a question that I wanted to respond to. Someone said, you know,
Yep.
Is there a way to get feedback on my blog and some tips? And one suggestion is we have an incredible, well, we have several social media communities on Facebook in particular, but one is online copywriters. So if you go to Facebook and search online copywriters, you'll see our group there. And that is a wonderful place to post your blog and say, hey, I'd love some feedback from you guys. What do you think? Have any of you monetized your blog? How'd you do it? All that kind of stuff. It's a very generous and active group. So that's one great thing.
I think you're referring to Mary Ann's question, and she's also asking if that was included in COS. And yes, in Circle of Success, you can get feedback on anything that you write.
Also, if you're in Circle of Success, you also have all the programs that we were talking about. Like the Money Making Website program is part of your benefits. You have access to the AWI catalog. Through the Money Making Website program, you could just request it. There is a form on that page where your website can get reviewed. We're about to kick off a whole new training program at the end of the year where Nick will be doing live reviews as well. So you could get his input as well, just because you're Circle of Success. So get on in there.
Okay. This is frustrating that I can't see these.
Yeah. So if we're quiet for a second, it's because we are all trying to get into the Q&A.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're answering, and sometimes we have a little bit of technical difficulties. Helen, if you answer a question or you see a question answer, can you just clear the flag really quick? Because we're going to get stuck on the priority side, and we won't be able to get back. Mary Ann says, COS is an amazing resource. Yes, it is. For those of you who aren't familiar with that, Circle of Success is our end-all, be-all. It is our biggest level of access to all of our training, to all of our programs. It has its own training element that's built into it. They have access to our experts, access to our client list. I mean, they really, Circle of Success is for the level of writer. If you really want this, if you're all in, we basically help you set your goal, and then we work with you until you achieve it. It is a all-access, highest level program in our business. It's called Circle of Success. We offer it a couple times a year. So if you're new to AWI, stay tuned. You will see it. It's not open right now, but you will see it at some point.
Oh, Doreen, she's asking if you're feeling overwhelmed, what is the first step? Well, the first step is you take a deep breath. And you just know we've got you. We have everything you need. And then I would say go to that roadmap, where the link there, the Inside AWAI Creating a Success Roadmap. And that will walk you through. And you just focus on your best next step. What is the very next thing I need to do? And that'll get you there. So that's my advice. The big thing is breathe and just know that we're here for you. And if you need to call, give member services a call. They can help you, you know, just focus in on, again, that next step. But I promise you, their advice is going to be the same thing, is to check out the roadmap and just see where you fall, and then it'll be obvious what you should do next.
All right. So it looks like we've answered all the questions we think, because our WebEx is acting wonky. But anybody has any questions, we're going to see if it'll reload for us. Post them in the Q&A. If not, I am writing an email to you right now, which I will send, and it will have my email address in it, askrebecca@awai.com. And if for some reason your question did not get answered, we will be able to take care of that. Otherwise, member services is a great resource.
And Rebecca, you can put my email address in there too. So it's askkatie@awai.com. Yeah.
But our member services team is very familiar with all of our resources and can guide you to whatever it is that you need. And Tim says, COS is the second best decision and investment I've made to advance my future. Attending law school is the only one thing above it, but AWAI and COS are moving up fast. Thank you, Sam. I wish I could hug you through the webinar.
I bet COS was a lot more reasonable than law school, and I bet the payoff that's going to be, so your ROI will be stronger, is my bet.
Very good point, Katie. Oh, thank you, Carmen. Carmen says, overwhelm is something we all experience. She needs to know she's not alone or doing anything wrong. Even Katie, Pam, and I, sitting right here today, we have been in this world for this long. I've been in this industry for 20 years, and I still, on a weekly basis, experience some overwhelm, sometimes huge overwhelm. But I have read every promo. I have looked at every opportunity. We study all of these paths. We speak to all these experts. And even for us who know all the paths, and we still, it's just such, it's because it's just so big. You found this thing that has the potential to change your life, to give you freedom. However you define freedom, you have this opportunity. That's a big thing. So it's not a simple, oh, just push this button and everything will, you know, magically open up for you. It's huge. You have to make these decisions for yourself because there are so many paths, and each of you are so different. We just walked away from our event with, you know, hundreds of different AWAI members. No two people are the same. No two people have the same background, have the same why, the same reason why they're doing this, the same place they're hoping to get, the same description of what the writer's life means, or the same description of freedom. When you put all of those things together into one thing that makes you, you are unique from everybody else out there. So your path is going to be different than everybody else's. Your interests, your things that get you excited, the things that make you want to write every day, the amount of money that you want to make, the things that you want to support, the things that you want to see and do in the world, it's all so different. But I will tell you that even though it feels overwhelming, it's all possible. Whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, for whatever reason that you come here to AWAI to join us, we can help you get there. You just need to start making decisions and moving forward. Decide where you want to go. If you're brand new, like, throw yourself into all this. Just immerse yourself. Just kind of like, you know, roll around our website and get comfortable. And eventually something will start to spark an interest. Or if not, start with the accelerated program for six-figure copywriting. That is our flagship. That's the foundation for everything you could possibly want to pursue. If you understand how to write persuasively, which is what we teach in that program, every door will open for you. And whether you do a money-making website or become a travel writer or an email writer or you work for clients or you work for yourself or you just do cause marketing, whatever it is, you will be more effective than you could ever be without this program. And even just going through that program, if you left AWAI the next day, if I could give you one thing, that would be it. Because no matter what you did from that day forward, no matter what you wrote, whether it was fiction or sales copy or grants or a travel writing article or a blog post, you would be better than 90% of the writers out there just by taking that program. So if you're brand new, that is where you should start. And again, like Carmen said, overwhelm is something that we all experience. So just know that, because it's big. You've hit on something big. So hopefully that excites you as well.
Just one little thing to add to that, as far as overwhelm goes. You are part of an amazing community, and you know, when Rebecca gets overwhelmed or I get overwhelmed, I turn immediately to her. She turns immediately to me, and we like talk each other down and get back on track and get focused. And I would encourage you to find somebody like that, specifically in the AWAI world, and just reach out on the Facebook page, on any of these groups. You're not going to find people that get it more than the folks that you're going to meet there. And just know that it's a resource for you, so that you're not alone, and you can connect and you know, form like really wonderful friendships and relationships. So that's my 2 cents.
All right, guys. Pam, you have anything in closing before we call this Inside AWAI done?
No, I think you guys ended on the right note.
Perfect. All right, guys. Well, we're putting together December's episode of Inside AWAI. So if anybody needs anything, I think we're going to focus in on setting you up for 2019 to make sure that you have whatever success you're looking for in the year. We want you to go into the year prepared. So that will likely be the topic. That being said, if you have any requests or suggestions, most of these topics come from you all. So if there's something that you want us to cover, whether it's something granular or big picture, just email me at askrebecca@awai.com, and I will add it to our list of upcoming webinars. If there's something that we can do to help you make money, to help you move forward, to help you achieve whatever it is that you're hoping to achieve by coming to AWI, you can count us in. So let me know what we can do to help, and we will do it for you. So with that, thank you, everybody. We'll see you next month.
Thank you.
Bye,
Bye, Pam. Bye, Katie. Bye,
Thank
Fran.
you.
Thank you,
Bye.
Bye.